How we doing, people? In my diaspora series, I talk about going to the United States. Are you with me? In 2001 and 2002, whilst I was a student here, I am going to give you a story. And it's going to be in series, probably part 1, part 2, part 3. How it all came about. Remember, as an overseas student here, I had returned to the UK following my visit a year before. I'm in Uganda, back home. I received an email confirming my admission to a university. I had paid a courtesy visit as well. So they were happy to give me a place, and somehow, I find myself making that decision to return to pursue further studies here as an international overseas student. And it was a very good experience when I joined the university. It was very exciting. It was an international university, meaning that they had lots of programs, running academic programs, curricular programs. Lots of things were going on in the university. In London here, Waterloo, that was the main campus, Sheila International University. So, as a general camp counselor, whilst in the US, I would meet many Americans. And many of you didn't know how I came to the US. So I'm going to reveal to you everything. And to me, it was my first time to come to America. I had never been to America. That program was similar to a YMCA program called Camp USA. Lots of these things used to come via fax. I had a friend who was a program director at Young Men Christian Association in Uganda. I'll come to that part. And he never used to pay attention to most of those things. So they would come as faxes and they would just file them. So I was aware of so many things. And when this program came about at the university, they used to pin things on the notice board. And the program here in London was called Camp Counsellors USA. So you see the connection. So I was familiar with a little bit of what was coming next. And in Uganda, I was an active Boy Scout right from my primary school and secondary. Boy Scout, you know the Scouts, outdoor activities, camping and all those kind of things. But I would find it was different in America when I went there. It wasn't what I was used to or what I knew. So I would apply for that program application, and they asked for so many things, reasons why you want to go, blah blah blah. I went for an assessment, interview, blah 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 blah. I'm here as a student. So I was like, because the program is under the Department of Educational Programs, United States Embassy. I don't know if they still have those programs. The embassy here used to have so many things. I think they were under the USID, United States International Development. And they would encourage students, especially higher education, to go out in the world and learn new things. So I had a vivid picture. So I'll show you my YMCA details, Young Men Christian in Uganda. I was a leader and I had access to all of this information. So it was something familiar to me when I came to study here. So I was selected or chosen, and I think we came through around 6, 7, 8 of us. In the whole of UK, I don't know other people, but me, myself, we were about 6 of us. And that's how we end up at the airport. The picture you see me with a group of us. That's 2001. My maiden voyage to the US. Hey! It's very interesting how all these things came about, because I was here to study, but of course, as a student, you get involved in so many things other than education. And remember, the university I was in was an international university, so we had students from so many countries, but many of them were on scholarships, so they didn't really have time to do other things. Me, I was a self-sponsored student, so much of my decisions were personal here in London. And many of you would ask, why did you go back to America the second time? I'm the only one in the UK here to have done a 2-year circuit, Camp Counsellors USA. 2 years. But I will share my experience. The way I share, I will tell my story 25 years later, and you get to see the inside of what I learned and what I had to share also with students, with campers. I was given an award for the photographer. What? I was known for taking pictures. I have the certificate. It had never been given to anyone. The camp director in my year was Sarah Lawrence. Hello. Sarah Lawrence was the camp director. And in 2002, it was Greg Thornton. And they loved me dearly. Where Mr. Patrick was, there was always going to be a lot camp. So, how did I end up on that program? You already know the preamble. I was chosen and did all the applications, all the paperwork, and then they asked for this, they asked for that, and the references, recommendations, and everything. I had everything. Remember, I had just done my visa application to come to the UK, so much of my paperwork was together. Everything was together, so it was easy to put the application in straight. So I remember it was May when we were supposed to travel, May the 30th. I had got my visa already. Imagine, I came February, March, April, and May I'm in America. And I have already graduated, my first graduation, because I graduated twice. I had two combination courses. Are you with me? So when I come to America in June, I have graduated the first time. So within 6 months, pretty much, things were moving so fast for me. So they gave us travel tickets, they did the insurance, they did a lot of things for us. That's the American embassy. Everything was done. Everything was, because we were the ones representing the UK. And of course, the American embassy takes the accolade, isn't it? Yeah, coach, I'm coming, eh? So they take the accolade, yeah? UK students traveling to America on exchange program. So, American Airlines. There is a story there, very loud. It was my first time to travel on the American Airlines. I have never traveled on anything similar to that. Are you with me? Are you with me? Let's continue. Because a lot of these things, people don't know them. I keep posting pictures. Victor, my friend, he saw one of the pictures. Victor was there twice. Victor was very big. Was in my wing with Lodge. I think he's the first person I saw when I arrived. He welcomed me. And remember that evening we did the campfire, the bonfire, and all those kind of things. You see the pictures, I have them. That's the story coming. My American experience at Paradise Farm Camps. That's going to be the story. And I was 29 years old. 29. I didn't look my age. And many of the counselors I worked with were about 18, 19. But it wasn't about age, it wasn't about anything, it was about what experience you had to give the campers. Remember, all this I'm going to explain in the story. So when I arrived, I remember I was picked up. It was a Sunday. Yeah. No, it was a Saturday. I arrived in America Friday. Yeah, it was a Friday. Yeah, it was a Friday, I remember. Then we stayed at the Columbia University. And then from New York to Penn Street Station, that is in Pennsylvania. Then I was picked up by the camp. The camp sent, Paradise Farm Camps sent, I don't know if he was the husband of Sarah Lawrence, the director, but I was picked up. I'm the only one who was picked up. And they picked me up from Philadelphia Station. Remember that camp van? Then they drove me to Westchester County. If you haven't been to America, America is very rural. Forget about the cities. Once you drive out of the city, everything is spread apart. Hello, my friend. How are you? Everything is spread apart. So I was like, the picture I had, and then seeing everything rural, everything, and then we entered the forest area, a very big forest, Westchester County. It's very forested. And then we arrived Downingtown. We stopped over in Downingtown, did a few shopping. I had my bank card, Lloyd's Bank, and it was working in America. So you put in, and then the money comes out, and then you're holding dollars. Yeah, but I already that dollars. I already seen dollars. I used to $100 in Uganda. So, but the whole experience was new here. Are you with me? So, I'm in America. By the time I settled in, it was evening. It was around 5, and it got so dark because it is a forest area. When we arrived, 6, 7, I was given my cabin. Is it cabin 5? Or I don't know. It was. I don't remember the name of my cabin. I'll check with the pictures. Yeah. My cabin had a name. The cabins had names. Cabin 1, cabin 2, cabin 3. Yeah. Windsor Lodge. Then we had dinner that evening. Then we had to go for the bonfire night. Up. It was a long distance walking through the camp, the Paradise Farms and everything. So I'll give you all the history. of the Paradise Farms. What I learned. Yeah, so it's very interesting. And then you get, of course, the story, the real story. You want to know the real story? The real story is the American Beauty. Of course, we were there for a summer experience of one lifetime. We were young, you know. And there was a swimming pool, I remember. And there's a lot. There's a lot. And the good thing, I have the pictures. I have the archived pictures, which are going to tell the story very well. And, you know, how we all bonded together. It was a very, very isolated place. Or it is very isolated. Yeah. You're talking of, I am told from my research that the camp is on about 100 acres. So that's a very big chunk of land. Yeah. So what else is there? So I'm there for the year one. 90 days is 3 months. This is the time I spent there, working as a general camp counselor. Yeah, we were paid. I have my social security card. I remember being taken to the Department of Employment, something to do with that, to sign on and everything, and then do the paperwork. And then, so I could be paid. Yeah, they used to pay me in my bank. They would give us checks. They used to give us checks, I remember. I remember my checks. I don't have copies of them. I usually we never used to think about taking pictures. Yeah, but we used to be given checks, I remember. Yeah, paychecks. Then you take them to the bank. So then I opened up a bank. I opened up a bank account. The bank was called First National Bank, down in town. Yeah. First National Bank. I have the bank statements. I've kept them for my records. So I'm more or less now in America. And it was, America really drew me in, but it didn't suck me in. And I had to come back and study. I remember people ask me, should I have stayed in America? Yes. Now, the whole experience at camp that year. Are you with me? This is part 1, but we're going to do part 2. That is it. We're going to do part 2, people. All right. Summer camp in America. I've traveled. I have traveled. That is it. So, but I need to tell my story now. It's a long time ago, and I'm going to share all the pictures. And people will say, you've been to America, you don't like it. I've been there twice. On invitation, children's week, camp something. So that's all coming, people.